So,
Which one?
the second one. So,
Close out this one.
which one? Yeah.
Yep. Hello. We on?
I think we on.
Can everyone hear us and see us? Yes. Nate. Thanks, Nate. Yo, what's up, everybody?
Mikey, Drew, Xavier,
Jane, Anthony, Blank.
Jelly.
Well, hello, everyone. What's going on? Thank you for joining us. This is Samir. I'm Eric.
We in the band studio right now.
Yeah.
Tanmay, our director, was living here for like 6 months. He is now in Bali. It feels very quiet here now without him. But Eric and I are here holding down the fort.
Yes.
Hello from Rome. Yeah, Giorgio, man. We want to be back in Rome soon.
Wow. Yeah, any questions, please shoot over to us about the video, the record, etc. How professional was that buffalo in the video? They seem like
Yeah, I mean, just stone cold face, like
Yeah.
no emotion, which was what we asked
Yeah.
of it.
Let's see. Are we the most underrated band ever? We're a secret treasure, apparently. I think we're rated.
Pratik Guhad collaboration. Potentially. Pratik's a good friend of the band. We actually did a song a day together. For those YTG stands, we did a song a day in 2020, and he was a part of one of them. So, we'll probably do some sort of collaboration in the future.
Okay, when is the In the Open version coming out? We should be doing In the Open versions of this record within the next year or so. Probably knock some out while traveling to different places, touring in the next year on the record.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Someone
see.
asked, I think, did we write this song all together or do we write it separately? This song we actually wrote in the studio with John Hill. And yeah, most of us were there. And this record's been a combination of songs that we did, so a few from Song a Day, a few where individuals brought the song in, and then a few where we were all in a room together. Either like a lot of the songs were written in this studio that we're at right now, but this song was written in John Hill studio in Venice, which is like 10 minutes away from here.
And John was the producer on this record. So what's the phone mean to you guys? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, the phone. I mean, we don't want it to be. We don't want to really want to say. We want to leave it open ended. It's the story of the immigrant. It's the story of nostalgia. It's a story of connection, misconnections, that kind of like bridges the gap between all the acts.
Will you ever release Baby Elephant as a single?
Megan Rook. Yeah, Baby Elephant, for those who don't know, it was a Song a Day collab we did with Sure. And it is a fire song. It's a great song. Why not?
Yeah, we should. It's a pretty silly. It's kind of comedic, but it was really fun collaborating during the pandemic with our friends in the band Sure, and they're a great band and just super
think
hilarious.
The IGTV, which is, I don't even know if IGTV exists anymore, but I think
it should be up
whatever
there, right?
The thing is, the reel is, you can go and it's still there on our Instagram page. I think if you go to the reel thing and scroll down, it's pretty cool, and it's on our TikTok, I think, too, as well.
Do you begin the songwriting process with the music or the lyrics? I think it, as Samir was mentioning, a lot of these songs came from kind of different birthing places, whether it means we were all in a room together or a few of us were in a room together or Samir brought a song to the table, etc. Mostly I would say the music, some semblance of music or inspiration, like a spark musically, comes first for us.
And then I'll do like a scratch vocal that like has some gibberish, and then Eric and Francois will help me like sculpt those lyrics. For the most part, when we do it together,
Mm.
sculpt them into, like conscious lyrics, and they're in varying degrees of editing. Like,
Mhm.
there's a song from the last act that we haven't obviously released yet that is complete like stream of consciousness, and I think that's the point of it. So it's just all in varying degrees.
The last act, as in the fourth. You mean the fourth act
The
with
fourth
Commotion?
act.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have released 2 acts currently.
Any info on Act 3? I know Act 2 just released, but I'm anxious for the next part. Well, I don't know. We could probably say it's
It's coming soon.
yeah, this month.
We literally do not remember the date.
Just a good rule of thumb for understanding when the acts are coming out is we're doing about a month in about a month
4 to
increment.
6 weeks.
Yeah,
or
4 to
so.
6 week increments.
And Brendan, happy birthday.
Brendan. So Brendan Jensen.
Brendan Jensen.
We can't. It's a small
Brendan
font.
Jensen.
Brendan Jensen. We know a Brendan Benson, who's a
Great
songwriter and producer,
raconteurs,
who we recorded a version of our song "Mind Over Matter" with.
Will there be a bigger tour in 2023? The answer is yes, because I just want to see how long I keep that pause. I mean, because might as well, and we haven't toured in a few years, and we're missing it, as well as, in fact, we literally could not tour. We literally were just twiddling our thumbs and making
a record, yeah,
making the record. But we're excited to see all of you.
Yeah, and
can't wait to see you at the Bacon Theater.
The Bacon. Someone said how different has been prepping for this tour. We've been doing a lot of band rehearsals here at the house, which is a lot of times we'll go and do like rehearsals, like production rehearsals, meaning with all the lighting and everything, kind of like what we're going to be touring with production wise. But this tour, we're doing a lot of the band music rehearsals here in the house, and yeah, it's just building the world, like in terms of what the stage design looks like. It has been really fun. Kind of building a world that feels true to the band as a whole, but also really feels like this record and feels American Bollywood. And let's see. Do you think Your My Way is better than Limp Bizkit's My Way? I don't know if
I actually.
How does that go? Can you sing? Can someone sing it into the chat, please?
Can you annotate it?
Why does Payam have such great hair? Chase Bentley asks. Signed, concerned jealous citizen in Texas. I think
Lord knows.
Genes at the end of the day.
Biohacking, probably.
Yeah. Probably like avocado oil or something like that. Or he just doesn't ever wash it. Let's see. Do you remember the whole thing? What?
We, by the way, appreciate all of you coming here. I mean,
yes,
there's like a few of you all here, and this is like the inner stitchings. Like, we made this record like a crafts person would make like a cupboard or a shelf, and there are all these like inseams and these corners in the inside, and these are the moments where you can see the inside for a second. Most people just see the outside from 50 feet away, and you guys are inside the cabinet right now. So thank you, Geppetto.
Geppetto. Samir, what act is your favorite and why?
Actually have really been enjoying Exile. It's pretty funny and embarrassing, but my son Kieran, he is the biggest Yang the Giant fan right now, and it's really hilarious. Like, every morning he wakes up at like 6:30 in the morning, and he says, "Bappa song," which means dad's song. And I say, "Which song?" And he says, "The Walk Home." And it's always that song. So I have to listen to that song all the time. I'm like, this is the most I've ever listened to myself. It's embarrassing if someone ever comes over and is, like, watches me listening to ourselves, but
I think that Kieran, Samir's son, is onto something with The Walk Home. I think that when you have someone so young and innocent and not an untrained mind to music that just gravitates so strongly to a particular song. I feel like there's some spirit in that song, or there's some
Totally.
emotional, just like emotional thing in that song that felt really, it felt really easy to write that song and fun, and it just, I think, comes across in some emotional way.
Totally. Well, thank you all for all the positive comments on the walk home. I mean, yeah, it really like flowed like water. It's one of the last songs that we released, or the
Right,
last songs that we wrote for the record, and it was just so natural, and like little moments just kind of came in. And I feel like Eric and I, and the band, but Eric and I were really like fighting for that song to like happen for a long time, and then finally to see it have its day is really exciting.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes like songs can just be come very quickly and just be a very like beginning idea of something, like a chord progression and a vocal melody, or so, like whatever it is, or a drum beat and some instrument and a lyric or something, and then like deep down it's like, even though people on the outside might hear and be like, oh, this is just a rough idea, something like that, there's like an inner knowing, I think, as an artist, sometimes, when you're like, no, 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 there's something in this particular idea, this chord progression, this vocal melody, this lyric, whatever it is, the sound, the emotion that it's making me feel is worth finalizing, is worth putting in the time for. So I think that song was one of those, like, we knew like the soul was in there, so it was worth
Totally.
finishing. All right. What is my favorite guitar that I own? I have my first like nice electric guitar that my parents bought me when I was about 17 or 18 is a Fender Strat, American Fender Strat, and that was, I stopped playing it for years, and then recently I just like started playing it again a lot, and it's been on the last couple records. It was on the first record, almost the entire first record I played it on, and then I diverged, and now I went back, and it's kind of one of those things where I went back to my roots of like the guitar that my family helped me buy, and there's just some sort of like magic to that and simplicity and like, sticking true to it. So yeah, Fender Strat at the end of the day, I think, is just my go-to classic.
Not the Squire Strat Pack though.
That was my first guitar. I still have that. I still have mine. Do you have yours?
I was moving it to my new place, and then I put it outside, and I think someone literally, like, I put it outside and someone took it immediately, because they were like, oh, this is a free guitar. So whoever took it, I hope you enjoy it. And in terms of, I mean, I guess the previous question about what's our favorite acts are, I mean, Act 3 and Act 4, really excited to hear those, because we've been working on this record for 4 years, and we've been listening to it so much, and intentionally I have been, I don't know about Eric, but I've been like not listening to everything and just listening to it as it comes with what my son wants me to listen to. And so I'm very excited to show the rest of it to you. We're very proud of this whole album.
Yeah. A few people asked, well, two questions. One, a few people asked like, why the act structure? Why 4 acts? Why are we putting it on 4 acts?
So it's based off of like an old mythology, an old Indian mythology that was told in 4 acts, and it's a story. I mean, it's a narrative that feels very much like a film. The record's called American Bollywood. Bollywood is the Indian cinema. So well, the main Indian cinema. There are tons of Indian cinemas. I don't want to do a disservice. There's a new film called RRR, which is a Marathi film. Correct me if I'm wrong, but has been ported into Bollywood. Anyway, I mean, Hindi is like the major language in India, but English is technically the language of commerce, because there's so many dialects and languages in India, hundreds and hundreds, that English is the one. And so we figured we wanted to tell an Indian story or an immigrant story in 4 acts, like one would in a film. And it's the story of the immigrant and so it's it's the origin story, it's the exile, it's the battle, and the denouement, which Francois has been correcting me. I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, I've been saying denouement. It's denouement.
Yes.
And then the second question that I keep seeing is the shoes that you were wearing in the video. What shoes? Your shoes.
Oh, the
What
Slippies
shoes were you wearing?
in the My Way video,
Yeah, in the video.
the video in which we're talking about right
Yeah.
technically. I honestly, we have an amazing wardrobe person named Qasim. Qasim, if you're in the chat, blow up. That was horrible. But I think he sourced those, and also Marley as well helped us with that shoot. Marley, the costume goddess, she actually made my my robe for Mirror Master, like the crazy mirror robe. If anyone saw us live, and she was a big part of that. And I think she actually sourced those shoes, and I think it was just like whatever felt the most bougie, but the most cheap at the same time. That was the intention, you know.
Let's see. Um,
Did the India documentary you made help fuel the visuals and message of the music videos? Yes and no. I think for all those of you who don't know, we toured it. We played a festival in India in 2014, I think, and we had a great documentarian, David Faddis, come out with us. And although it told a bit of a story, it told more about like the process of showing my homeland technically, that I've never felt truly that is home to the rest of the band. But we brought Tanmay Chaudhary, who's like an amazing director who's born and raised in India, from Calcutta. He went to USC Film, um, and he helped us tell this story as well about the visuals. And it's a combination. India is a crazy, crazy diverse place, and that's the thing about the diaspora. It's like there's so many snapshots of India, and so like you can't ever just say this is India, because it's like there's so many versions of it.
What's a genre or artist you love the most that fans wouldn't expect? We listen kind of all over the board.
We listen all over the board, but I think back in the day, we used to listen to a lot of the Roots, right?
Mhm.
We loved Questlove a lot. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily like
Yeah, I mean,
hot take, but I mean, like, we just loved backbeats
we
always.
love rhythm and yeah, like hip hop and Jay Dilla and these hip hop producers.
D'Angelo, who Questlove did that. Voodoo was amazing. But also our favorite like career band is Radiohead, which a lot of people may or may not see as a thing, because we don't really sound exactly like Radiohead, but we love them.
Yeah, I think if there was one band that we listened to the most as a band is over the years is Radiohead. Like being in the van, in the bus, touring when a new Radiohead album would drop would mean that we all stopped whatever we were doing and just like put it on in the van full blast and closed our eyes and like listened. And so
Dawson asked if we'd bring Tanmay back for future videos.
100%.
100%.
As Tanmay would say, 100%.
100%. We missed Tanmay, like we said earlier. Like, so this is our band house. You're only seeing just a snippet of the house. This is the living room that has been poured into our studio. We have 2 bedrooms, one of which was my studio for like a year and a half. Now the other one is Francois' studio. My studio became Tanmay's studio. We have a pool in the back. We have a jacuzzi in the back. We have a back house, a pool house. And we would love to have Tanmay back here. I think the issue is really his visa. He's trying to get back here. He's leaving right now, but he can't come back sooner than next year because of his visa predicament. So we're obviously still in the works of finishing up the 4th act videos. And this is all, which is exciting. This is all like off the cuff, really. Like we finalized the edit of the My Way video literally like a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we've all been chiming in, and it's a labor of love, even though, in a world where, labor isn't necessarily the currency. We love this project, and so we'll put all the time and effort into it.
So we have, let's see,
Like Fake Plastic Trees, I love that song.
favorite Radiohead song. I was, I think I really, really, at the time in my life when In Rainbows came out, it was a very important record to me. So like Jigsaw Falling into Place or Weird Fishes, maybe one of those songs.
Weird Fishes is a great song.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Like for me, I think it was Airbag from OK Computer, because that was like the first Radiohead song I ever heard. And then I went forward and then backwards in their discography. And recently I've been listening to more of the Bends, honestly. But like OK Computer, that whole record, but the first track of that was just like blew my mind. My socks off. The drum tones were just like insane. So
someone asked, or Doriana asked, Italian music. I know. I don't know too much, but I know Giovanotti, who is a big pop star from Italy.
But I also say that Eric incorporated kind of like the Morricone vibes on this record, and throughout. I mean, like honestly, the third record, the fourth record, and particularly now we're talking about spaghetti western. We're talking about old cinema, Bollywood and Hollywood, and there are a lot of elements of the slide, and so that's a part of it too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely like it's interesting to look into the melding of genres in different places, like Indian Western films, like, and hearing like these spaghetti Western guitar parts and that influence, and then also like surf guitar, and it's pretty cool.
Light Giver says Creep was so overplayed. I think that's an obvious statement, Mr. Light Giver, or whomever, but I appreciate it. It's true. It's true. But Prince did a cover, so I mean,
do Act 3 and Act 4 also have 4 songs? Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. I do have a new white Strat. How did you see? Oh, in the social media probably. It doesn't have a name. Kyle, would you like to name the white Strat? You could just pop in a name. First thing that comes to your mind right now. Better be good. Hi to Anthony's fiance, Abigail. Hello, Abigail. Iron Man. Okay. That's not bad.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it.
Robert Downey.
Robert's good. Bob's
Junior,
nice.
Junior, Senior.
Have you ever... Speaking of Bollywood, have you ever listened to any of the Bombay the Hard Way and Bombay 2 Electric Vindaloo albums by Dan the Automator? Oh,
we actually haven't, but we know Dan very well. We actually, not very well, but I'd say relatively well. We did some sessions together. We truly respect him. He did a lot of work with obviously the Gorillaz. He did Clint Eastwood, but he also did work with a group called Corner Shop, which is like a big inspiration for me for this record. And we're actually, I think, we're supposed to be on the new record. I just talked with Dan on the phone like a few weeks ago, and we're supposed to be on his new record as well.
So, yeah, it's called, what's his
Handsome
project?
Boy,
Handsome Boy
Modern Club.
Something
like that. Sorry, Dan.
He's not in
I
here.
can guarantee
he's not in
Dan's
here.
not here.
Home of the Strange came out on my wedding day. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you. I miss... if you collaborate with Gorillaz, that would be my dream. Gorillaz have been an inspiration to us, as we were mentioning Radiohead as well, but Gorillaz have been an inspiration for us sonically for years. We reference the Gorillaz in the studio a lot in the regards of how they kind of meld genres and meld, hip hop beats and electronic drum programming with organic instruments.
And even like, even Blur, the Think Tank era, that record, which they did in Marrakesh, like really is super inspiring as well.
Favorite song to play live in concert?
For me, I think it changes. I think it depends on like, what record we're doing, and for us right now, I'd imagine it'll be one of the new songs because it'll be the thing that keeps us the most on our toes, the thing that excites us. Um, I still love performing, the classics, like Cough Syrup is so fun just to see the audience reaction. But for me personally, just like being able to play something new, and we performed this like really small, intimate show of like the first act and a few of the songs from the second act in Venice here at the Winston House, and it was really, really, really exciting. So I'm just so excited to bring this new album to the living flooring.
The living experience. Yeah, no, the walk home. We've been playing the walk home at the last like we've been playing Wake Up and the Walk Home at the last like 5 or so shows, and Walk Home when the drums kick in. I mean, it's fun because I'm playing a lot of rhythm guitar in that verse, and it's just like to once the drums kick in, it's such a like feeling for me that feels really good live. Let's see there. What You Get was so good. That I really did like that song. The song we
It's a
never
great
released.
song. So for those people who don't know, "What You Get" was like a song that we performed live a lot right before we released the second album, and we were about to release it, and then we never put it on the second record. And I mean, in terms of release material for Young the Giant, it's like the tip of the iceberg. You have like, I don't know, maybe 60 songs or so, but there are like hundreds of songs underneath the surface that have never been released. And it's
Mm.
crazy to think, I mean, like, for example, even like The Walk Home was a song that potentially we weren't even going to release. There are always a few of those. And Mirrorball was one of those that we released later. We want to release more of them and all the sessions that we had from all of them.
Yeah, it's we're very. I think that we take the kind of the craft of record making very seriously in the regards that like we really want the records to feel cohesive and feel like yeah, like they live in a world. And so once American Bollywood became kind of the guiding light for this particular record, some of the songs that we had written didn't necessarily fit into the American Bollywood world and feel like it would live on the record that we were making. But that doesn't mean that in the future those songs could see their light of day and a new record or just a B-side compilation thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Oh, in the open camera version, people talk about camera.
Oh, have we never done one of those?
No,
Nice.
Potentially in the future, we've thought about putting out an in the open record because people live with it on YouTube, and it's something that's exciting for us. So maybe.
So Aaron asks if there's new merch. There is a few pieces of merch on our website, and we're actually launching a new merch line for this new record in the coming months. So keep an eye out for that. I want it. Greetings from Peru. Hello.
Guys, I just got LASIK like 2 weeks ago. It's blowing my mind that I can
You could read this.
read this from here.
It's amazing, dude.
It's pretty amazing.
John asks, what goes behind the decision-making process of lyric writing? Is it collaborative? Where do you guys find inspiration?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's like there are a few songs where I will bring things in that like is from a complete idea, like like American Bollywood, for example, and then I truly love collaborating with Eric and Francois on lyrics, and it's just really exciting. It's like a writer's room, and we just get to talk about ideas and throw things together. And like The Walk Home, for example, was like a perfect blend of us. And so for with Young the Giant, it's just like so exciting to have that room where we can all do it together. And that kind of like started on the third record, and it's really exciting to have that continuing. Ray, I'm looking forward to talking to you as well, but when are we talking?
Oh, no, that's Roy. Roy says, "I'm your new bio writer. Just been listening to the album.
Oh, Roy.
Amazing."
Oh, wow, amazing, Roy. Sorry,
The
my
LASIK's
LASIK is
I
not
was
perfect. I
not
said Ray, but,
uh,
and I didn't see the top comment, but Roy, I'm very excited to talk to you as well.
that's
Thank you for
awesome.
joining this. This is
Yeah,
great
that's
research.
awesome. Let's see. Can you talk about the themes?
Jim Merlis, baby. We
Yes.
love Jim.
Uh, do you let's see, what do you want to answer here? Do you have any unique traditions y'all do on tour? We eat a lot of Thai food together.
We do. We do a lot
Um,
of Thai food.
yeah, and we
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I mean, it's pretty funny. I mean, I think most people would say people who've never really come backstage with us before, who like are friends of friends and come back, and they're like, you guys were so chill before the show. I mean, I think there's a calm before the storm. All of us are very, very calm. We're barely talking at all. It's just kind of like internal stuff. And then right before the show, we walk and we do a huddle and we put our feet in together. And that's the extent of it. But, it's really about it's a marathon. We're used to playing like in 2019, we played like, I don't know, 200 shows that year. And it's not about just the big shows. It's about like anywhere. It's like all the shows, we put all the same effort into any show. It doesn't matter where we are. If we're in like the third biggest city in Arkansas or like New York City, it doesn't really matter to us. I mean, we're trying to put on the same show. And sometimes, the third biggest city in Arkansas, that would be like our best show of the tour. I mean, it's just kind of that's what we try to do, put the same effort in every time.
So are you planning on any shows in Europe? I think we are planning on in the first half of next year, hopefully getting out to Europe and also trying to get out to back out to Mexico and South America, Central America, hopefully.
We did a lot of groundwork like in 2019 to like our main goal was to try and come back to Europe because Europe had been for many reasons a place that we'd neglected in South America and Asia, and we put in the work, and then 2020 happened. So it'll be a moment probably potentially in, I don't know, 2023, 2024. What year is it
It's
at this
22.
point? It's
22. We're in
22.
22.
That's insane. So 24 probably realistically.
I would love to go to Peru. Let's see. Favorite song on the new record. Can you tease an Act 3 song title? Oh, well, I mean, you can kind of, if you do a little research, you could find potentially a little Act 3 moment on the YouTubes or on the internets. You just have to look for it.
It's exists on a video game. We'll just
Okay,
say
we
that.
just yeah. Well,
But
that's
there
smart.
are many video games.
Let's see. Oh, you guys.
Probably answer a few more here and then call it.
Yeah, definitely. What's next? Oh yeah, Dawson's got it. Hello from Dublin. Creep.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of t-shirt design ideas, I mean, Eric is a big part of our merchandise. Same with Jacob. Yeah, I mean, we've taken you know, we have, for those of you who don't know, we signed a 5 album contract on our first record. We left an album early, and we decided to go into distro, and it was a it was an interesting turn of events. It was something that was great for us, and now we've taken back control and authority of what we do and our business in general. And so merchandise is a big part of that. And we expect a lot of collaborations, and we've been working, and Eric and Jake Eric in particular, been working very hard on, those new designs as well. For me personally, I'm like, there's so many things you can do in a business. For me, merch, I'm just like, I trust them to do it because, I don't know.
I think that's a big part of being in a band with five people in total, and then you have your team and all these different people, and we're learning as we get older, and now that we kind of have our own little label imprint called Jungle Youth Records, which is distributed by another company called AWOL, but essentially there's a lot more ownership and entrepreneurship in what we do, and it's delegating, making sure people, not everyone has to, make a decision on every single possible thing. But anyway,
Wow, people have been talking about Assassin's Afterglow and
I know a lot of
Metropolis.
people.
Wow. Where do you
Yeah.
guys even listen to those? I mean, I guess I must have performed them on like one of those live streams during COVID.
Fran, where's Fran? What?
Where is Fran?
No,
Fran's like less than a mile away from here. Where are you?
I was literally about to be like, oh, well, Fran just had a baby, like explain, like, oh yeah, he's probably busy, he's got the baby, blah blah blah, and then he popped in.
Oh, Adele is here.
Oh, Metropolis. Yeah. So any TV shows, Aaron? You've been asking about TV shows. Samir was mentioning dragon stuff.
House of the Dragon. I mean, like Game of Thrones. It's polarizing, and I'm not a big fantasy / sci-fi. It was more on the fantasy side person, but the writing is amazing, and it's like unprecedented that the author and creator of the series of the books is actually a big part of the screenwriting for this new series, which is like amazing. It's like as if Tolkien could be a part of like all this new Lord of the Rings stuff that's happening. It's pretty cool.
And I just finished the there's only one season, but Severance on Apple TV was awesome.
That's a great show.
Was awesome. But yeah, I mean, let's see. There's gonna be more videos coming out with the next couple acts, and we really appreciate all of you being here with us, hanging out.
Thanks for coming midday, and or wherever you are in the world. Might be 9 p.m. Might be later. Might be earlier. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Love y'all.